13 Unsolved Mysteries No One Can Explain. A Frozen Girl. On 20th of December 1980, Jean Hillard, a 19-year-old woman, was driving to her parents' home in a very snowy weather. Suddenly her car stalled and she decided to walk to her friend's place. The temperature was around -76 degrees Fahrenheit, and while walking she fell unconscious and was lying on the spot for 6 hours. When taken to the hospital, she showed no sign of life and was considered late by the doctors. But after 3 days she began moving her legs, and after 6 months she was as healthy as a horse. Now that's strange. A picture from Bray Lawn Museum. The photo that you see right now shows the opening of the Gold Bridge in Canada in 1941. Right here among the crowd, there is a man who is dressed absolutely not accordingly to the 1940s fashion. He is wearing something that looks like a zipped hoodie and a t-shirt with a 20th century style logo. He is also holding a portable camera. Another time traveler maybe? Dancing plague. In July 1518, Mrs. Trophea started to dance and couldn't stop. After 1 week 34 more people danced along with her. After a month the total number of the dancers reached several hundred. They danced without stopping, and 400 people passed away of exhaustion and strokes. This dancing phenomenon still remains unsolved with no scientific explanation at all. Time traveler. In 2003, the FBI arrested a man accusing him of a stock exchange scam. He had only $800, but he managed to earn $350 million through 126 very risky deals. After being arrested, the man, whose name was Andrew Carlson, claimed that he received the information from the future. He said that he came from the year 2256 in a time machine. We are wondering which explanation is more likely: he used a time machine, or it was all just a big scam. The Boiling River. A little boy named Andres Russo often heard his grandfather tell him a legend of a river that quite literally boiled its enemies in its water. Andres dreamed of discovering the river, so when he grew up, he became a geologist. He took a local shaman as a guide and discovered the river in 2011. He measured the temperature of the water and found that it was around 186 degrees Fahrenheit. The reasonable explanation about the river was that it was 430 miles away from the closest volcano. That is pretty far. The Lost Colony of Roanoke. In 1587, John White led a group of people from Britain to find an English colony, settling on Roanoke Island. White left for more supplies, but when returned 3 years later, found the colony was abandoned, with all houses and fortifications dismantled. Before leaving, White had instructed the colonists that if they were taken by force, they were to carve a cross into a nearby tree, but there was no cross. The only clue was the word Croatoan. White took this to mean that the colonists had moved to Croatoan Island. Upon investigating, it was claimed that the colonists had been wiped out by the Powhatan tribe, but there is no archaeological evidence of this. And a recent re-examination of the primary sources indicates that any incident that occurred was not of this particular group of colonists, but rather a group of colonists who had arrived earlier. The Flannan Isles Lighthouse Disappearances. In 1900, 3 keepers of the Flannan Isles Lighthouse off the west coast of Scotland disappeared under the strangest of circumstances. The lighthouse was manned by 3 people named Thomas Marshall, James Duckett, and Donald MacArthur, with a 4th man rotating in from shore. On 26th of December 1900, the relief keeper arrived to find none of the lighthouse keepers present. The only sign that anything was amiss was an overturned chair near the kitchen table. No bodies were ever found, which has led to endless speculation. Theories range from drownings to abduction by foreign spies, a ghost ship, or a giant sea monster. Whatever happened back in December 1900 at the Flannan Isles Lighthouse remains a mystery till date. The Ghost Ship. Carol A. Deering was an American commercial schooner. It became a famous ghost ship because it was found aground in 1921 with no crew on board. The galley was full of food, the logbook was absent together with personal belongings, the anchor and navigation devices. At the end of 1922, the investigation was stopped without any official conclusion. The Overtown Bridge. The Overtown Bridge, near Dumbarton, seems to call dogs to leap to this 40-feet bridge. Since the early 1960s, some 50 canines have perished, and hundreds more have jumped but survived. Reports slate via their Atlas Obscura blog, with some returning for a second leap onto the jagged rocks 50 feet below. A lot of investigation has been done, but no reasonable explanation can be found as to what lures the dogs there and make them jump. Many theories have arisen, including that the bridge is haunted or a mink is marking the area with an almost irresistible scent, and a sound anomaly exists at the bridge that only dogs can hear. The disappearance of the Malaysian Airlines Flight 370. On March 8, 2014, while flying from Malaysia to China, a Boeing 777 carrying 239 passengers and crew members seems to have vanished into thin air. The multinational search effort, the largest in aviation history, has turned up a mere 20 pieces of aircraft debris. Theories include hijacking, capture by the United States, a blaze aboard the aircraft, vertical entry into the sea, a meteor strike, and even an alien abduction. After 3 years and the expenditure of $160 million and scouring thousands of square miles of ocean, the disappearance of Malaysian Airlines Flight 370 and the 239 people aboard remains a mystery. Amazon rainforest geoglyphs. When scientists were studying the open landscape of the Amazon rainforest, they noticed numerous drawings carved into the ground and call them geoglyphs. They have discovered 450 geoglyphs in northern parts of Brazil and Bolivia. The most ancient of them are estimated to be from 3,000 to 3,500 years old. How and for what these geoglyphs were used, is still a mystery. The underwater ocean. Scientists discovered a gigantic reservoir of water 410 miles deeper than Earth's surface. Scientists think that the reservoir is at least 2.7 billion years old. Its volume is several times bigger than the volume of the world's ocean. One theory suggests that the Earth's oceans could have formed because the underground ocean burst outside and not the other way around. Bimini Road. In the 1930s, American psychic Edgar Cayce claimed that either in 1968 or 1969 the ruins of the lost city of Atlantis would be found in Bimini. In September 1968, 2,300 meters of neatly placed limestone blocks were found in the sea near Paradise Point in northern Bimini. This chain of blocks is now called as Bimini Road. According to some people, these remains are from a lost city, while some believe it to be a result of the seabed deepening. The mystery still remains unsolved.